Hello. The following video is a collaboration made possible by GoodEnoughPsychiatrist and the Center for Regulation-Focused Psychotherapy. We hope you enjoy the video as much as we enjoyed making it. Have you ever felt helpless when it comes to parenting? Maybe your child's behavior gets so intense that it is difficult to know how to respond. Regulation-focused psychotherapy for children emphasizes understanding these behaviors as a form of communication and self-protection from challenging emotions that are too difficult to express. We hope that this video gives you hope and a new way of thinking about your child. Let's start with an example of Jen's son, Kai. Kai always seemed to have a mean retort in his back pocket whenever she asked him to do something. He often cursed at her when asked to do simple chores. These insults hurt Jen and made her furious. She often yelled back and responded by taking away his privileges. This just seemed to make Kai more resentful, which, in turn, made Jen feel helpless. Is there another way to understand Kai's response and a way for Jen to feel more connected to him? The first step towards this is to acknowledge that your child's behavior is often not about you. Children want to connect and feel heard. When they act out, there's often a deeper meaning. One way to understand the meaning of disruptive behavior is through a model called Regulation-Focused Psychotherapy for Children, or RFP-C. RFP-C uses a triangle of conflict to map out the meaning of behavior. The first thing we notice is the disruptive behavior, C. Although this is actually the end of the cycle, we'll begin there because this is what we notice first. Working backwards, we get curious about what feeling might be behind the behavior, A. Often there is some sort of block to express these painful but hidden feelings. For instance, the child may feel too vulnerable to express or may hold the belief that they should not feel these feelings. B. As a result, the feelings overwhelm the child and is often what leads to disruptive behavior. This cycle happens rapidly and is not done, quote unquote, on purpose. It's totally automatic. It's also really effective. Disruptive behavior is intense. It grabs our attention and distracts us and the child from what might be going on underneath the surface. This cycle continues if the child doesn't have adults who can recognize that there is meaning behind the disruptive behavior. This acknowledgement helps create a holding environment that allows kids to feel safe and understood. It also helps grown-ups to feel less dysregulated. In Kai's case, something about Jen asking him to do chores deeply upsets him. For some reason, Kai is unable to tolerate these feelings and acts out. If we can recognize the deeper reasons behind Kai's disruptive behaviors, we can help Kai create avenues to tolerate and express these feelings more productively. So how do we apply these principles? There are 3 steps: stop, look, and listen. First, stop. As parents, we must honor our own emotions in order to keep our cool and respond effectively to difficult feelings. A dysregulated parent will have difficulty calming a child down. As much as possible, avoid responding impulsively. We know this is hard to do, and it is okay if it doesn't always happen. There are some things you can do to get through the moment. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself, I am safe. This is hard, but I am doing my best. My child is trying to tell me something. Take some distance if you can safely do so. Tell yourself, we're both pretty upset right now. I'm gonna go to my room for a few minutes, then we'll talk. You can always have a few minutes to yourself too. Second, look. When your child throws a tantrum or has a challenging moment, play detective. What happened just before? Could there be something upsetting your child, even if it seems trivial to you? Is your child embarrassed? Were they just trying to seek connection with someone and it didn't go well? Third, listen. Get curious. Remember, children have their own minds and feelings. Although we know them very well as parents, we can never know what they're thinking 100% of the time. After challenging behavior, ask yourself, why do I think my child is acting this way? Could there be other possibilities? What could they be feeling right now? What are they trying to communicate? Let's see how Jen used this approach with Kai and helped create a safe, holding environment for both of them. The next time Kai called her names, Jen reminded herself that disruptive behavior has a meaning. She got curious about possible uncomfortable feelings that Kai might be having. She took a deep breath and repeated to herself, "It's not about me." This helped her keep it together, prevented her from yelling, and gave her time to plan a response. She said calmly, "I heard what you said. I can see there's something about these chores right now that bothers you, but I don't want you to call me names." She explained that she wanted to understand why these chores upset him and suggested they try to talk about it. Kai seemed taken back. Later that night, Kai came into her room looking embarrassed. He told Jen that he didn't like being surprised with chores. Jen's request felt sudden and made him feel bossed around. Jen empathized with what Kai was saying. She offered to make a written list of chores so that Kai knew exactly what to expect. The plan helped address Kai's underlying feelings and decrease his need to lash out. In this case, Jen was able to stop, regroup, get curious, and finally, listen to what Kai had to say. In the process, Jen was able to feel more regulated and developed a better understanding of Kai's experience. This stop, look, and listen approach led to a collaborative solution that worked for both of them. Most importantly, Jen's curiosity and empathy for Kai's experience allow him to tolerate and express these feelings of anger and inadequacy when asked to do chores suddenly. This ultimately reduces Kai's overwhelming feelings and the need to engage in disruptive behaviors. In summary, children naturally want to connect with others and feel heard. When they act out, there's often a deeper meaning, such as overwhelming feelings that they are unable to tolerate. Understanding the meaning of disruptive behavior allows us to react differently, to have hope for the change that comes from acknowledging that what we see on the surface is not the full story. In the process of trying to understand a fuller picture of who our children are and why they act the way that they do, we create a safer environment for them to tolerate and express these feelings in words rather than disruptive behaviors. Okay, that's good enough for now. Thank you so much for watching. The Center for Regulation-Focused Psychotherapy has several resources that can help you on this journey towards understanding, including a parenting booklet. This link is in the description below. If you found this topic helpful, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Good Enough Psychiatrist, for more valuable content on parenting and mental health. As always, have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.